Hey y'all, check this out. I just got a gift from someone. Let's see what it is. Huh? What? A tissue box? Wait, what? It says tissues for your issues. Wow, some people can be so rude. Oh well, that leads me to ask the question, have you opened your gifts? And I don't mean these kind of gifts. I mean the ones that's in you. The ones that God has purposed for you. Actually, the more important question is, have you even found your gifts? Or are they hiding somewhere that you don't know about? We're here to learn all about that today. Firstly, how do we find these hidden gifts? What we need to note is that these gifts are already within us. And some of you may already know them, like, are you a singer? Are you a writer? Are you creative? Are you good at talking to people? Or are you just really good at cooking? The list goes on. Some people even have a knack for detail. You know, those people that just walk into a room and immediately know that this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed, and whatever needs to be organized. Yeah, today they call that OCD. You can have OCD for many things. While the world may deem it as a bad thing, God wants to use that as your gift for something great that He has planned for you. Today, what may seem like an issue, tomorrow God may turn it into your gift. Problem is that we do not see it in the right light. Something special God has planning within us, we look at it as something that we need to get rid of. The real issue when it comes to knowing your gift is that we judge our gifts based on the undeveloped state. What I mean is this: if my parents judged me and my ability to speak and my ability to communicate effectively when I was just 5 years old, they would have been disappointed. They would have called me a hopeless case, maybe even a failure. But they didn't do that because they understood. To be honest with you, my ability to speak and communicate effectively wasn't good even when I was 13 years old. At that point, I felt I'd never be able to have friends because they'd always make fun of me. But you see, when God has put a gift in you, there's nothing that can stop it. Who would have thought that that same boy would be able to have his own YouTube channel and speak to so many people today? I have officially finished 8 months today of doing this, and God has been so good. And all I know is that He's just getting started. Back then, my gift was still developing. It was still forming into what God wanted it to be. And I'm sure it still is. So the thing to take away from this is that do not judge your gift in its undeveloped state. The same goes for your gift. You may think it isn't there when it actually hasn't formed yet. And in order for it to form, it needs to be given attention to, nurturing, and time. The mistake we make is that we look at our gift, see it as not so great, and dismiss it as useless. Have you ever looked at someone so talented and they just aren't using their gift? And you just want to go up to them and give them one slap and take that gift away from them? Now when you're so busy doing this, there's someone out there looking at you and wishing the same. That is why God is telling you to develop you. Why don't we look at David for a second? David started off in the pasture and he ended up in the palace. Now David didn't know that God was going to take him there, but he knew that he had to stay faithful to what he had, and God would do the rest. What I'm saying is, it again comes down to how you see it. How you see what's in front of you. You know the time when David's dad Jesse tells him to go and feed his brothers? He's like, "Hey David, come here. Please take this delicious ham and cheese sandwiches to your brothers out there and be quick, they must be hungry." So he did, and when he was giving them the sandwiches, he heard about Goliath. And he said, "I'm not going to let him defy my God." So you see, where thousands took a step back because they were afraid and they saw an obstacle, David took a step forward because he saw an opportunity. Obstacles and opportunities are almost the same. It just depends on who you know is on your side. Because when you don't know God is on your side, all these roadblocks become obstacles. But when you know that He is with you, that He's going to have your back, that He is an ever faithful God like David did, then cancer, nah, take a step forward. COVID? Nah, take a step forward. Job loss? Nah, take a step forward. No matter what it may be, take a step forward, because He is our Jehovah Jireh, our provider. He will supply our needs. These are not obstacles, but opportunities. Opportunities for God to work miracles in our lives. And when you may not feel capable of doing so, just remember, God has been working something in you all along, working a gift in you that has prepared you to slay that giant that's in front of you. Why was David able to see his obstacle as an opportunity? Is because God taught him something behind closed doors. Imagine those people that found out David had said yes to fighting the giant. They all laughed. Because look at this puny guy. But David's thought must have been, guys, you can laugh now. But what you don't know about me is when nobody was watching, that bear came to take one of my sheep, and the Lord taught me how to do some crazy stuff with a slingshot and some rocks. That is all I had, but that's all I needed. Then the lion came, same thing. Something that could have killed me, but it was just getting me prepared. So this may seem like the first time that y'all gonna see it, but this is just a repeat for me. When I was in the pasture, He taught me how to take what I had and use it, for He would do great things with it, and He knocked out that giant. So you see, you must be you. David didn't fit into Saul's armor, because he didn't need it. God was his armor. I'm sure some of you have the question, but what does God want me to do? In order to know that, you have to spend time in prayer, in His presence, and ask Him. And whatever He tells you to do, do it. Looking again at David, he didn't have a GPS tracker or even a map to lead him to his purpose. Some of you may know the story. King Saul was being tormented by an evil spirit, and they did not know what to do. But some of his servants had an idea to call David to play his lyre, which is like a U-shaped harp, so the music could drive off the evil spirit. And they called him. He came and played, and Saul was set free. David did not have to fill out an application to go to the palace. He did not have to apply to go play for Saul. He did not have connections in high places. But yet they sent for him. But David did what he knew God wanted him to do, and that is work on what he already had in his hands. The instrument of music he already had, which he played while he was in the pasture and at home. And he played it the best that he could. You see, when you do the best you can with the little you have, in the nowhere that you are, He will take that little and use it to work miracles. He will take you from the nowhere to a somewhere that only God can get you to. So what we need to learn here is this, and that is our 2 P's for today, which is prayer and practice. Prayer so that we can spend time with God and ask Him to reveal the gifts that He has for us and confirm the ones that we feel we are blessed with. And then practice using your gift. No matter how big or small it may be, use it wherever you are. And when God sees you faithful to what He has already given you, He will take you to a higher place. And He will also multiply your gifts. But we need to start using our gifts the best that we can. If you feel God isn't using it for big things in the world, well, that's okay. David didn't start playing for a large audience or big people either, but he still played. God was preparing him, and so is He preparing you. But He cannot do it unless you are ready, and you cannot be ready if you don't use it. You know, the iPhone, for example, goes through a lot of tests before it gets released. Performance tests, stress tests, etc., etc. Sometimes it may take a long time for it to even come out into the market. But that is because it needs to be ready for the world. They want it to be flawless when it comes out. God wants you to be flawless too. But you need to let Him take His time with you. And meanwhile, use what you have to the best that you can. So pray to God to reveal your gifts to you. Then open it and use it. And God will, when the time is right, use it for great things. You see, your gifts is like this balloon. It's useless and shapeless and lame without you putting energy into it. You taking time to grow it. You adding your efforts to make it something. But the moment you stop working on it, the moment you give up on it, the moment you don't put enough energy into it, that the energy that it requires to be what it is, it will go back to being worthless. God has given each one of us so much. Let's not waste it. Each one of us have at least one. Let's find it and use it. St. Augustine said, whatever skills I have acquired, whatever gifts I have been given, I place them at your service. Let us do what the saints did and use our gifts for His glory. Speaking of saints, I will be starting a new series this All Saints Day. That will be something different from these weekly videos. These will still go on, but those will release every Monday, and it will be about one saint every week. Just a 2-3 minute short podcast on their life and how we can use their life as an inspiration to ours. It will release on YouTube and Instagram. Stay tuned. So, find your gifts, open them, use them for His glory, and be blessed by them. Peace. A special dedication to today's video. I just want to say, happy birthday, Mom. God bless you, and here's your gift. I know it's not a tissue box.